Good evening everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Claire Manning from Claire Manning Creative and I am here to give you another craft demo today and help you make better cards. I've got a bit of a change up in terms of my setup today, so if there are any problems I do apologise and we'll work through it as we go. The dog is here with me as always, so I'm sure you will hear him mooching about in the background. And we'll give everyone. Oh, that is me. How embarrassing. I've got my phone here because I'm looking at the camera, but I can't see your comments in the setup that I've got today. And we may change this a little bit. So I'm going to put me on mute and then I can see the comments here. And then we're going to turn around to do the demo in a little while. So just give everyone a minute or so to join in as we normally do, as it's live. Skip this little minute or so if you need to, if you're watching on replay. But hi to everyone joining. Let me see if I can see the comments. Can I see live comments? I have no idea. Margaret, I can see you. I'm having to look over. I have no idea how to do this on my phone while I'm on live chat. That sounds good, doesn't it? What are you chewing? Why does he always find something to eat? So I hope you're having a good week anyway and staying warm. I feel like there's a hint of spring in the air. I know we've still got a good 6-8 weeks of winter, haven't we, to go, but I really feel just that slight little spring. Got some daffodils that are just opening in the house. Okay, they've been by the radiator, so that's why they've got warm. Can I have that? Oh, it's literally got a bit of plastic. But anyway, so welcome. We're going to do some stamping this evening. We're going to do some glitter paste, a bit of stenciling. We're going to make a cake from the Eat the Cake stamp and just have a bit of fun. No launches or anything today. Little bits of news here and there, but just a nice relaxed up to an hour. Let's see who's joining us now before I start the demo. Hi Karen and Cleo, hi Joe, hi Margaret, hi Melanie, Irene, Amy, Joe I've already said hello to, Roxy. I hope you're doing really well. If there's anybody else joining as well and you haven't been here before, welcome and just pop it in the comments, say hi or just enjoy. If there is anything that I'm using that you fancy, I always put in the description. There's a link to my website, clairemanningcreative.co.uk. But like I say, no launches today. I'm using stuff that I've already previously launched, or you may have something similar at home already. So let's crack on with the demonstration, shall we? So I need to turn around and switch cameras. So I'm just going to do that now. Let's switch to the overhead camera. I'll just turn my chair around. And here I am. I hope that's working okay. And I'm going to put my phone up here, propped up so I can see your comments as I'm working. I'm sure there was something else that I was going to tell you. But do you think I can remember now? Hi Jane. Let Mummy craft now. Right, Joe, absolutely. He's doing his usual. I'm not getting attention, so I'm going to run around in circles and bite my tail. You good now? Hi, Sue. Hi, Denise. And hi, anyone else joining in. So, should we have a look at what we're going to use? Of course, please stop it. Good boy. Well done. Well done. Let's have a look at which stamps we're going to use today. So, like I say, we're going to do Eat the Cake, which was a kind of build-up, layered, tiered cake. And I'm going to use the carbonated stencil to make a bit of a background for it to sit on. And I'm going to give you a sneaky peek of a die that's coming March, I think. So we'll have a look at those. So what I really want to do with this stamp today is create, so you've got 4 tiers here that you can have the solid areas or the line that you can colour in yourself. I really want to create something bigger than these four, and not so it tapers, just to show you a different way really of using it. So I kind of want to make it all one width, really quite tall, almost to fill the card, and have it almost like a little bit wonky here and there and things dripping off it, and I have no idea. I haven't practiced this, so I don't know if it's going to work, but in my head that's how it's going to work. Let's see if it actually happens, shall we? So let's have a look at I'm going to work in solely with a block today rather than with a stamping platform. And let's do the base first. I've cut this piece of card just, let me show you how my card blank is. I've cut it so the height is no higher than I want it to be, because I'm going to cut round this cake when I've created it. So here's my card blank with a cream matten layer, and then another white piece that I've pre-cut ready to do my background on. But I wanted to make sure this was an A5 piece of card, and I thought if I keep going with this cake and keep stamping, I could end up making it too big and then I'm stuck. So I've made sure this piece of card here is no bigger than this background, just to make sure that I don't overdo it. So let's do the stand first, because that's the most important part of the cake, right? So I'm going to use a load of Distress Oxides. I've kind of gone through, I probably won't use all of these. I've picked browns, creams, pinks and oranges. When I'm layering up this cake, I want it to have kind of as if it's got vanilla layers, chocolate layers, icing, all this kind of stuff. So I went through and I thought, right, okay, so ridiculous. As I say, I'm probably not going to use them all, but we'll see. Let's pick, I'm definitely going to use these oranges for the background and maybe a bit of pink. So we'll want to tie those in somewhere, but I don't necessarily want the whole thing to be all the same. I'm definitely going to do some of the browns for like chocolate layers, and this is a really good colour for kind of vanilla sponge or lemon sponge. So let's do worn lipstick for the stand. So you can absolutely stamp with oxides as well as the Distress inks. They take a little longer to dry, but you can still stamp with them and get really good results. I'm just going to get a little brush and some water, and we're going to use that colour that we've stamped to almost kind of colour in the stand as well. There's always something I have to get up because I've forgotten, isn't there? So I've just got Roxy says, I love my oxides. The only problem is I want more. I know, I'm actually in the process of organising mine, and I'm compiling for you a really cool sheet that you can use to swatch them all. So when you're looking for them, you haven't got to get all of them out. You can look at your swatch, look at the name of it, and then if you've, say, marked them up, some of mine have got labels on, you can just go straight to that one, with space for new ones as well. So, and actually I'm using this stamp to swatch the colours, so I'll share that with you over the next few days. So So I'm just popping, I haven't got a pot of water because I haven't got much room here. So because these are pigment based, can you see that just adding that water, you can pull out a little bit of the colour. If you want to make that stronger, which one was it? Oh, lipstick. You can almost colour in with them then. You can almost add a bit of water and almost use them like a paint. They're just a little chalkier looking, a little more opaque than the Distress inks, which are more translucent and give clear colour. These just dry a little more opaque. So you almost start to lose the line then, which is something that I love to do. So a very, very simple and quick pink cake stand there to start us off. So let's get on with this cake, shall we? So it's going to have some fun colours on here. So you've got, I'm going to be using the solid pieces of the cake and we're just stamping in colour. And then in between we can use some of these kind of cream or jam elements. I hope you can see there. So as I say, I'm just going to be using one size. I'm wondering whether to go for the largest or the next one down. Let's go the largest. And then we've got the jam for the largest as well. Okay, so let's start off. I feel a bit scared now. I feel like I should have practiced this. Oh dear. So I'm going in with antique linen, which is, like I say, an almost vanilla-y kind of colour. So this is layer 1. And because I'm not using the stamping tool, we're not going to get absolutely perfect, you know, where you go in 2 or 3 times. But I feel like that's almost going to help us get that texture of cake. You know, it's not flat and boring, is it? It's got texture, it's got little changes in colour and things like that. Let's put some jam next. Let's do jam in picked raspberry. And because this is a wonky cake, if things aren't exactly right, that's great. That's exactly what I want. Should we do a chocolatey kind of layer? This might look more of a caramelly than chocolatey, but let's see. I think it works better if I put the block down and then add the colour. Because I find some of these pads then can be a bit uneven. What's everyone up to this week anyway? Anything exciting going on? It's Blue Monday, isn't it? So I'm hoping that cake brings a little bit of joy to you this evening. So I'm just swapping on my block between the cake, same cake piece and the same jam piece or cream, whatever you want it to be. Let's do this lighter pink. Good at making wonky cakes. So the jam I'm finding is easier to dip in, and the cake I'm finding easier to put the ink on that way. But it really doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Hi Steph. Hi Jem. Have I missed anybody else? Karen, you've got watercolour class on Wednesday. Sounds fabulous. I didn't know that on the TV there's a watercolour programme Fern Britain presents it. I had no idea. I'm obviously going to have to check that out, as watercolour is one of my things. But there's obviously a previous season, so series. A little bit darker this one. Again, I'm tilting it slightly so it doesn't look perfect. Missed a little bit there, but as I say, it doesn't matter if it's not completely done. Let's have some kind of, let's tie in this kitsch flamingo again from the bottom with a different jam layer. And it's starting to look really fun, something a bit different. Oh, 12th birthday, Margaret. I find children's cards, I must admit, really difficult. It's something that I want to ask you guys actually. Like, do you buy separate stamp sets for kids and teenagers and things like that, boys and girls, or do you just try and adapt what you've got in your stash, say shapes or things like that? I don't know whether to do one, whether it's something useful because you feel like there isn't much out there, or is it just not something that you'd really buy because you don't feel you'd use it enough? Let me know what you think. So while I'm finishing this, I'm going to do, I think, at least one more layer, maybe two. I need to fit a candle in the top as well, I want to do. I want to tell you about something you can win. I say win. Have the opportunity to have your face and a make of yours on the Claire Manning Creative website soon. So what I want you to do, and I'll put all the details on the group tomorrow as well. What I want to do is see your lovely smiling face with your favourite Claire Manning Creative make. So I'll do an example of myself tomorrow. So say my smiling face is here and I'm holding up my card next to my smiling face. And what I will do then is, I can't, depending on how many people enter, I can't guarantee every single one will get featured on the website, but the idea is that I want to do a gallery of all your makes and give you guys the opportunity to show off everything that you do. You know, you do some absolutely amazing cards. I think they're absolutely fabulous, and I think it would be really nice for you guys to show off what you do too. Don't really like kids' cards, Joe's saying. We just do present images or cake, etc. Okay, so things like eat the cake and open my presents first, I guess they're good sets for you. Made a couple of gamer cards, right, okay. But they're so specific, aren't they? You don't want to spend necessarily loads of money on just one particular stamp set for stuff like that, do you? Well, I wouldn't anyway. Or maybe even some download ones, if you're happy to download some images for those more specific things and then print them out and cut them yourself. Maybe we could do something like that. So you've still got you know, the opportunity to get something really nice, a really good image that's suitable, but you haven't got to spend money on it, basically. Oh, I nearly put my big stamp then in the pink raspberry. Balloons, yes, they're always good. Right, I'm nearly done. Last layer. No smile activities. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Yes, Joe's got an opposite on her touch, so you won't be smiling much until after Wednesday. Oh, bless you. But I'd love it. So please don't be shy. Please don't forget as well on Facebook, on our CM Creatives group, you know, share what you make. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be with my stuff. It doesn't have to be with Claire Manning Designs. It's great if it is. You know, I'd love to see what you do. But I'm happy for you to share whatever you're working on. I don't mind that at all. Right, so in the set, we've got these couple of little candles. So I just want one candle on the top. So let's do it. Should we do it like one of these orangey colours? Let's do it that. Might have needed to do that with black really, but hey, you'll get the idea. And let's add some of this slightly darker orange. In the kind of flame, I think. Pink there. And if there's bits that aren't quite smooth enough for you, use that water and you can blend those oxides a little bit. Like so, I want the jam a little bit smoother looking, maybe than the cakes. And any of those little gaps, you can move that ink. So hopefully that looks like a fun cake. The cake itself isn't completely finished yet, but it's enough for me to kind of cut out and start on the background, ready to build it together. She's loving the big cake, your little girl Roxy. Well, wouldn't it be amazing to eat that? So I'm definitely going to be using from this sentiment the Happy Cake Day, which is great because that works not just for birthdays. But let's move to which ones was I going to use for the background. The two orangey ones, so it's now maybe a bit of pink. Too many, too many. Right, person on. I still don't even think I've got every one, you know. But that was just my pinks, oranges. I'm sure it would get a handshake on Bake Off. I don't think Paul Hollywood would give me a handshake for that. He would say, it tastes good, but it's too wonky. Wouldn't he? He'd say, no, it's not neat enough. Right then, what am I doing? So let's just leave that. It's not really much water on there to dry off, but let's leave that and get our stencil and create a nice background for it. So I want the cake, I'm thinking about where I want my background to be because, you know, I tend to do a lot of things where a background kind of sneaks behind. So I want the cake to sit slightly to the right of this piece here. So I want the kind of background to come round this side. So I've got a couple of my Time for Tea blending brushes. And there we go. And I'll start off with the lighter, the dried marigold. And I'm just going to kind of put a light wash of this orange in this kind of lower left 2/3 of the card. Just nice and light because we're going to build up some layers and some colours. I've talked to you about these brushes a lot before. I've known that there's lots of brands that do them, but I love these Time for Tea ones, and my lovely friend Jo at Time for Tea. Funnily enough, we're having a little wine catch-up via Zoom after this video. But she is a fantastic crafter as well. Her stamps are very much, she does lots of cutesy kind of characters and critters and things like that. Beautiful little bears, animals. Oh, they're absolutely fabulous. She's really good at that, and that's something that I don't draw as much of. So if you're into that kind of thing too, check out her Time for Tea Designs website. And actually, coming up from the design team is a bit of a special collaboration as well with Jo and her team. So look out for the details of that too. So much stuff coming for 2022. Right then. I can't decide. Yes, so let's do a little bit of a mix of these two. Bit of pink. And then this time I'm doing it through the stencil, so it's gonna, we're still not gonna get white underneath where this carbonate is being, and we're gonna get that lighter marigold. So hopefully it's gonna give us a real kind of dimensional look. And then we're even gonna add a third layer of something special. A bit of pink, a bit of white persimmon. This beautiful vibrant orange, and just taking it into that pink area a little bit. What I love about these brushes, they're just so smooth to use and you don't have to press hard. Oh, it's so satisfying. And I've never been able to use for this type of brush for makeup. I know they're slightly different brushes, bristles, the makeup type style ones. Okay. Before, in fact, I'll remove it. I'm going to put it back to add something else, but let's see what it looks like so far. That's really cool, right? And so the colours, I feel, go really nicely with that. But I'm going to place it back on if I can get the... I would suggest doing all this in one movement. And then I've got my glow paste, the nice fine one. Hi Tracy, how are you? And my nice little spatula, and I don't need lots actually because I only want it to be, we're not going to cover the whole stencil, we're just kind of going to cover where I've done this extra colour blending. And when you do this, when you've got ink underneath, try not to mess about too much with it. Just get it on there, get it through, and let it go if you want your paste to still be clear, because the more you mess with it, it starts to pick up the colour from the ink underneath, which is fine if that's what you don't mind, but if you want it to sit really clear and dry really clear underneath, then just do enough to spread it. You can get a really nice smooth finish with those. But can you see on that then? I'm not going to put that tiny bit on the end. I'm going to try and use it on the card, because if that goes in the pot, it's going to contaminate. I don't mind wiping off that bit then. So that now has given us that beautiful blended look, but now we've got some dimension, and when that dries clear in a few minutes, we're going to have some sparkle come through as well, and it just adds that extra interest. And I really love doing things and showing you how to do things where people are going to say to you, I don't even understand how you've done that. Like they're going to say, how did you get that thickness and that ink blending? So let's get rid of these. And while that is drying off, and that will become more vibrant, more sparkly and beautiful as it dries. I'm just getting rid of that paste on my stencil. I do not want that. Best thing to do is pop that in a pot of cool water, you know, straight in a bowl in your sink, because I do not want that drying on my stencil. Just going to pop that aside. We can always heat set that if we need to after, and let's bring back in our cake. Oh, I've just looked over at my laptop I haven't plugged the charger in. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to get the charger. Because the last thing we want is to run out of battery and lose connection, isn't it? It's fine. I've got it all here. Just plug it in the side of my laptop. Do you hear that ping? We're back. We're back in business. Right then, let's give this a trim round. And then we'll do our sentiment. So let me think while I'm doing this. I like to, this cutting is obviously not the most exciting thing for you to watch. I like trying to use this time to update you on anything. So there's a couple of things that have gone out of stock on the website, but they will be coming back soon. The happy birthday dies. It's got a happy birthday and then the frame round has been so popular it's run out. So I've got some more on order. They will be back in when I go on the craft store show on the 12th of Feb. I've got a time now for that as well. So that's going to be 11 AM, which I will put all the details on our Facebook pages and our social media pages as well for you. What else? There's a couple of things that are nearly run out that I thought I'd give you the heads up in case they're things that are on your list. Yes, Joe, that's the fine glow paste. Ignore my wonky label. Yeah, things that are almost out of stock. The A5 stamp pockets again, but I have got more on order again. Literally about 1,500 of them I've shipped out to you guys over the last, when did I get them back in? Just in between Christmas and New Year. So that's a couple of weeks. That is absolutely mental. Can't get enough of them. And I've literally had people like order 100. So God knows how big your stamp stashes are. That's mental. But they'll be back in soon. And there's still a few left right now, but I know they're going to run out any day. And the Happy Everything stamps as well. I think I've got 3 left, and that'll be the 3rd time I've restocked on that too. So I thought I'd just give you a heads up. Right then, and what else has come in? Oh, sequins. I've got new colours of sequins coming soon. Oh, have I lost you? No? I think it was just my phone with the comments. Sequins coming soon. We've got a lovely mix of pinks coming for the spring and some matte white of the no-hole sequins. Jem, you're just putting your stamps in your pockets. They're so good though, aren't they? So handy. Right. So, that didn't seem too bad then, did it? That boring bit of cutting. So obviously I can't make a specific die or digifile or anything for that. So, this is what we've got so far then. Our background is still starting to set. I'll do my sentiment and then I can always heat set that with the gun. I'd rather leave it if I can because I don't want the card to walk too much. But obviously I don't want to you to be sat in here literally watching it dry. So let's show you the new die. So I said I was going to use that Happy Cake Day, but I'm going to add something to it. And I want it to say, hey, Happy Cake Day. So, this is stamp that's going to be, sentiment die that's going to be part of the sentiment die set. And it's a lovely big cake. And it's a set that's going to be hi, hey and hello, or hey, hi, hello. I can't remember which way around I put it. But I thought that gold, that's just gold glitter card, is going to go really nicely. And then the Happy Cake Day we'll put on the little strip. Was that a yawn, horse? Yeah? Hi, horse. Put your head up here and then everybody can see you. No, just a sniff. So I'm going to heat set this on a little black strip of card with some gold. Oh, bless you guys. They are really, really cool, aren't they? The sequins. I'm so, so pleased with them. And I'm so pleased that you guys like them as well. We'll add a few onto this card, I think, near the end. So just for those of you who haven't seen them before. Oops. I know the big set is out of stock, but that's coming back too when the new colours arrive. And what was the other thing? Yeah, so I've got some of the individuals left. I know the holographic one is out of stock, and I think the silver. I think the others I've got like literally a few bags of each left. So of course you could use more candles, more of the little flowers out of this set to decorate even more. I'm going to be adding some glossy accents and make some of that jam look uber shiny. But let's get this sentiment finished first. Don't cry now, horse. Teal, turquoise and a red. I will have a look for you. I know that the blue is quite light, so I'm hoping they bring out a manufacturer. But I keep telling them colours that I want and things like that as well. But at the moment I've just got to get hold of what they already do. But I keep telling them I want this one and that one. And I'll order more then. So you hope that they'll listen. And I think they do red that's really clear. It's not kind of iridescent like the other ones. So I'll order some and have a look and check it's good enough. So I've just used some standard metallic rich gold on a piece of black card there for the Happy Cake Day. This is going clear and glittery, but let's speed it up a bit. Do it from underneath. Don't want to burn that paste. You see the sparkle starting to come out? Really dry. Still a tiny bit sticky, but it's dry enough for us to put things together anyway. So I've got card blank, creamy matte layer that's going to tie in nicely with the card. We've got the cake. Let's start thinking about how we're going to put this together. So I just need to get, I've got some foam pads, I need some glue, and let me just grab my sequins. I had a little trip to my favourite organisational store, B&M, again this afternoon, which is where I got as you know, this lovely sequin pot by a company called Wham that do loads of organisational. I think we're definitely going to need the colour mix for this card because it's got all those lovely colours in the cake. But I also found these for £1.50 in the kitchen part, and I've got a larger one. Can't really fit it under the camera, the larger one, which is great for stacking up your A5 stamps in your pockets. But this smaller one, let me show you. You can see I've got all my A6 ones there, all in the pockets. Oh, sneaky peek! All in the pockets, and A6 dies, all in the pockets, and they just fit perfectly. You can get absolutely tons in there. That's every A6 stamp and die stencil that we've done so far. So there's absolutely tons in there. So just a bit of a heads up really, because I thought that was really useful for £1.50 each, and I really like anything that's that clear kind of acrylic. Do you? I know, boss. I'll be finished soon. You think you'd never been fed, wouldn't you? So just some glue to put this down. Yes, Roxy Steph, I love a good bit of storage, bit of organisational. Can you get some of those in for those of us who don't have a B&M? Absolutely. Would you, if I get some, and let you know, it's not really something I can put on the website because I'll just be buying them from a shop, but I can kind of let you know how many I've got and put a post on Facebook and kind of let me know if you want me to ship them out and maybe pay by PayPal or something like that. Trip to B&M, very dangerous, absolutely. I thought kind of everybody had one near them, to be honest. We've got about 3 or 4 by us. Is it more of a West Midlands thing? Or are they everywhere? Ones on Amazon are so expensive. Yes, they can be. I guess the problem is, the biggest thing is that's the size of it, even though they're not very heavy, that would be medium parcel, because it's even too big for a small parcel with Royal Mail or a courier, which makes it expensive to post. So that's the only thing to just bear in mind. I mean, I've got no problem with posting them to you, but that's probably what a lot of the cost is, of course, when you're buying them from places like Amazon. Oh, there you go. Jo said she can get some stuff as well. So, yeah, between us, because sometimes things like that, they go quickly. So I'll gladly go over and have another look, see how many I can get hold of. And if Jo does the same, I'm sure we can get plenty. And I think it's one of their own brand ones. It's not one of the Wham, because I do have a Wham supplier for other types of containers. But yeah, not for their own. They only sell their own stuff in their own shops, of course. Remember I was saying about these hexagons? This is the perfect example of that. If that was a square, little corners would be poking out of there. I really hope these hurry up and come in. Obviously that's quite a waste of a lot there. I'd rather use a few big ones, but they're just what I had to hand. Roxy, don't let him fool you, honestly. In a minute, darling. Nearly finished now. Why don't you come and say hello? I know. If we put the front facing camera on as well when I'm done, and then you can say goodbye to everybody. Yes, I love any kind of transparent organisational storage. Do you? Right then. So we have got, should we put it there? Huge cake. which we will put some glossy accents on in a moment. Let's decide. I'm only going to put it where I need it though. So I want it to read, "Hey, happy cake day." I feel like I'm covering some of that cake there. Let's trim it down a bit maybe.